Fierce Pussy originally formed back in 1991. We met in ACT UP.
ACT UP, the AIDS Coalition to Unleash Power, which came about during the mid-'80s because so many gay men were dying of a disease that nobody knew anything about and nobody seemed to want to find out anything about. So Fierce Pussy comes out of that in the sense that there were a number of artists, lesbians who were activists in the group working in ACT UP in the trenches.
We had to come up with a poster every single meeting, and at the next meeting we would go out and we would wheat paste.
The kind of almost flip side of it was a way for us as this group of women to have a certain kind of visibility.
I think the range of topics that they engage in, from AIDS activism to lesbian visibility to queer visibility, it's ever expanding. The relationship between what they do as activists in their queer art collective and what they do in their personal works have this reciprocal relationship. They kind of sustain each other in a way. We're starting out with 4 separate rooms of the 4 artists, and then their works interact and merge just like in real life.
Well, I've been taking photographs of things that you recognize for a really long time. More recently, I kind of decided that I didn't want to take pictures that you recognize anymore. And I wanted to actually push the photograph itself to become the object. It's from one roll of silver gelatin paper, and it was 34 feet long, and I'm literally in the dark room bodily manipulating it, crunching it and molding it, and it's doing its thing while it's being exposed. So I'm doing all the things you're not supposed to do, which at this moment in time seems to be probably the right thing to do.
Kerry Yamaoka works primarily in painting, but also in photographic practices.
So this is a body of work that's called Archipelagos. I conceived of it as a kind of an alphabet, as an ABC, but all of the place names that are referred to in it refer to either places of detention or jails, hospitals. So I chose the place names based on the beauty of the resonance of the beauty of the landscape, which contrasts quite a bit with the resonance of how those places actually functioned.
For my room, I decided to make a site-specific project and to work with a new material that I haven't had too much opportunity to work with in the past. So I'm excited, and I'm also really curious. This is embedding lead sheet metal into the walls themselves, and then I'll be painting them. It's not just sitting on the wall as an object, it's becoming part of the wall. So ideally, the entire room becomes the piece. There is something still very queer about this work. I think for me, occupying and embedding into a wall, taking a space that isn't normally used, is a queering of a space in some way.
I think it's going to be surprising to encounter when you think about the queer art collective Fierce Pussy, and then being in this gallery and being confronted by works that might not actually match up with your expectation of what that means. That surprise, hopefully, will also resonate beyond the gallery.